Hello and welcome to Movie Flakes again. The 5th season of Westworld is the fidelity test for the human race starts by discussing how Dolores makes a final game promise for the human species in the final episode of Westworld Season 4. Is she preparing a fidelity test in which all people turn into hybrids? Will Dolores put humanity through a fidelity test in Westworld Season 5? Back in Westworld Season 2, viewers saw that Delos' Wild West theme park's real goal wasn't to wow wealthy visitors, make money, or advance research. Even collecting massive volumes of consumer data for marketing purposes wasn't the focus of Westworld. Instead, the brain scans performed on visitors' headwear were done for a covert experiment at a location called the Forge. Here, Delos was trying to engineer immortality by transferring a human consciousness into a host body, but the company was never successful. The host Charlotte Hale then revived this project in Westworld Season 4. But with similarly messy results. All subjects would undergo a fidelity test to check whether the original human personality had been captured authentically. But the hybrid's brain would melt like cheese on a baked potato each and every time, the physical body rejecting the transplanted mind after a matter of days. A failed scientific experiment is the least of humanity's concerns in the Westworld Season 4 finale. All sentient life, including humans and their hosts, has been exterminated as a result of the man in black persuading his host counterpart to start the apocalypse. All that is left are hosts saved inside the sublime, and Dolores Abernathy is the newest addition to this digital heaven. Dolores suggests a simulation game to assess whether mankind will survive as Westworld Season 4 comes to a close and creates a replica of the original Westworld park as a test scenario. In Westworld Season 5, does Evan Rachel Wood's character intend to test the humanity as a whole for faithfulness before resettling Earth with hybrids? After Westworld Season 4, hybrids are humanity's only remaining hope. Hale, played by Tessa Thompson in Westworld, Dolores vows to give mankind one final chance at survival, despite her attractive Teddy alter ego's reservations. But how exactly would that work? In the Season 4 conclusion of Westworld, humans kill each other to extinction due to William's tone of damnation, and Dolores' final monologue claims that the few survivors aren't enough to maintain the population. How can the outcomes of whatever game Dolores has devised inside the sublime to predict the destiny of humanity possibly apply to actual life? Even if Dolores' test is successful, Westworld doesn't yet have the technology to biologically resuscitate deceased people or to construct a brand new flesh and blood body. What is the prize? Dolores' only choice would be to load up host bodies with all of the human thoughts that had been scanned by the hats in Westworld and saved in the sublime, as well as all of the minds that had been scanned by Hale's mirrors at the Golden Age Park. It's possible that Dolores' one final exam in her virtual Westworld is designed to gauge the fidelity of those disembodied people's thoughts. Everyone who had their brains scanned while wearing a hat and visited Westworld would have had their activities captured. Dolores' simulation can perform a thorough fidelity test to see if the minds in Sublime's Westworld behave just as the original owners did in the actual Westworld. The final mystery of Westworld is the host hybrids. In Westworld, Ed Harris plays William Man in Black. The Delos immortality experiment is the final major puzzle in Westworld. What must happen for the bodies to survive? Why did the post-credits scene from Westworld Season 2 depict a hybrid William going through a fidelity test in the far future? Both problems would be addressed by Dolores' goal of breeding hybrids in Westworld Season 5. Her entire mission would revolve around succeeding where Delos and Hale failed, which is why William showed up in the post-credits investigation of Season 2. He might be being used by Dolores to see if he behaves just like the actual version did in Westworld Season 2. Why Bernard secretly took a mirror scan of Frankie is another unanswered point from Westworld Season 4. Dolores restoring the human race as hybrids after testing them in the sublime also explains this. Bernard deceived Frankie into standing in front of a mirror during their visit to Golden Age, then silently scanned her. The walking enigma that was Jeffrey Wright claimed to have good intentions, but he never revealed what those objectives were. Dolores is only proceeding in the direction that Bernard set forth in Westworld Season 4. Thus he was aware of her strategy from the start. Perhaps the purpose of Bernard's mirror prank was to ensure that Frankie would eventually join her father in Dolores' hybrid race. So, given that Delos and Hale failed, how does Dolores' fidelity test succeed? The solution might lay in changing the criteria for success. Delos and Hale both believed that in order for hybrids to pass the fidelity test, their reactions had to be exactly the same as those of humans. However, this is not true humanity. The indigenous of Earth are disordered and unpredictable. Very few people would always respond to a scenario in the same manner. Perhaps Dolores absorbs this lesson from her simulation in Westworld Season 5, applies it to her hybrids, and achieves genuine accuracy by granting her creatures autonomy. The strain of their own brains prevents the hybrids from further degenerating. Midway through Season 4, Hale puts an end to the uprising by destroying the human race and changing the status quo between species. The only way Westworld Season 5 could bring about peace between humans and hosts is undoubtedly by merging them. The Sublime's consciousnesses are the only hosts left after the demise of the original, organic humanity. Maybe the hybrids, people who are mentally human but physically hosts, are what Dolores' beautiful new world has in store for us next. Such a conclusion would be dystopian in style, thematically potent, indisputably conclusive, and oddly uplifting, merging into a single, peaceful race on Earth from two formerly at conflict species. Additionally, Dolores creating that race seems like the ideal way to wrap out her Westworld storyline. Evan Rachel Wood's persona has always been portrayed as unique, and whatever new species she produces might be defined by her philosophy of choosing to see the good in the world. Dolores' role as the designer of a brand new civilization in the Westworld finale more than validates her enigmatic aura of importance during the previous 4 seasons. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.